The current era of Formula One was supposed to be all about closer, more competitive racing. With new regulations aimed at levelling the playing field, fans were promised tighter battles and more exciting finishes. The FIA even introduced a stricter cost cap and a new sliding scale for wind tunnel allowances. However, the pecking order hasn't seen many surprises. Over the past 3 seasons, it's been the Max Verstappen show, domination in its purest form. Verstappen's dominance isn't just about winning races, it's about how he wins them. Whether he's executing a flawless overtake or carving through a tricky turn, there's a sense of magic in his driving.
That was last week when we signed the deal. I couldn't believe it in the beginning, but I'm really happy at the moment. Well, next year I want to be, of course you want to be fast, but just try to be very consistent, don't make too many mistakes, and I think that's the main goal for next year. And well, in the future, of course, I hope to become a world champion, because that's also a dream.
There was a time not too long ago when imagining Max Verstappen winning so many races in a single season seemed like a dream, a far-off fantasy. Before 2021, Verstappen's victories were rare gems scattered across seasons where Mercedes and Ferrari dominated. From 2016 to the end of 2020, he could only notch up 10 wins, held back by the seemingly insurmountable advantage of his rivals. But then came 2021, and everything changed. As the 2021 season dawned, Verstappen was no longer content to play second fiddle. He was ready to shake things up and challenge the status quo. Lewis Hamilton won the opening race in Bahrain, and it seemed like business as usual. But the following race at Imola would mark the beginning of a new era. Starting from third on the grid at Imola, Verstappen was a man on a mission. Within moments of the lights going out, he showed no hesitation. Charging down the outside, he swiftly overtook his teammate Sergio Perez and made a daring move on the pole sitter Hamilton.
It is Hamilton and Verstappen and Hamilton wheel to wheel going into the field of the Tamburello chicane. Hamilton is forced wide and he's lost a little bit of bodywork as well.
Verstappen then held his nerve and maintained the lead throughout the race, clinching a spectacular win in just the second round of the season. From that point on, Verstappen's campaign was relentless. As the F1 circus travelled to the Americas, he was unstoppable. Except for Brazil, where Hamilton staged a remarkable comeback.
Hamilton with a much better exit down to turn 4.
I said it's the third time lucky. Hamilton pulls ahead of Verstappen. Before they get to the corner, the crowd go absolutely wild.
Verstappen dominated the races in the USA and Mexico City. In the USA, Verstappen's precision and strategy were flawless. The tricky Austin track, known for its tyre wear and demanding nature, posed no threat to his skillful execution. He secured a decisive victory, sending a clear message to his competitors.
First time on US soil, Max Verstappen wins the US Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton has to settle for second. The charge got close, but not quite close enough.
Then came Mexico, where Verstappen's brilliance shone even brighter. Despite not starting from pole, Valtteri Bottas had that honour. Verstappen seized his opportunity after an early incident involving Daniel Ricciardo. He pushed his car to its limit, ultimately denying Hamilton another shot at victory. These back-to-back victories by Verstappen in America set the stage for one of the most thrilling season finales in F1 history. The build-up to the 2021 Formula One season finale was nothing short of electric. For the first time since 1974, the two title contenders were tied on points heading into the final race. Verstappen had claimed a stunning pole position, setting the grid on fire with his speed and precision. But as the race began, it was Hamilton who surged ahead at the first corner, with his eyes firmly set on securing a record-breaking 8th World Championship. But then, lap 53 happened. A safety car was deployed, throwing the race and the championship into chaos. The rules around the safety car period's end became the focal point of controversy. As the laps ticked down, only the lap cars between Hamilton and Verstappen were allowed to unlap themselves.
Of work to do then.
Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
Yeah, why aren't we getting these lap cars out of the way?
Just give me, well, because Christian, just give me a second. Okay, my big one is to get this incident clear.
setting up a dramatic one-lap sprint to the finish. With fresh tyres on his Red Bull, Verstappen was like a predator ready to pounce. As the race restarted, he saw his chance and seized it. At turn 5, in a move that will be etched into F1 history, Verstappen overtook Hamilton.
First overtaking zone is normally down into turn 5. Is Verstappen far enough back? He's going to make the lunge down the inside. Hamilton sees it coming. It's a late lunge by Verstappen, who takes the lead of the race.
The 24-year-old Dutchman crossed the line and claimed his first world championship.
And it's going Dutch in 2021. Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion of the world.
Yes! Oh my God!
Max Verstappen, you are the world champion! The world champion!
After shattering Lewis Hamilton's stranglehold on the championship in 2021, the burning question at the start of 2022 was whether Max Verstappen could defend his title. Could he replicate his phenomenal success, especially with the weight of expectation and a potentially resurgent Ferrari team led by the talented Charles Leclerc? The season kicked off with Red Bull grappling with reliability issues. Verstappen's campaign began with a disappointing retirement while running second in Bahrain, followed by another in Australia. In stark contrast, Leclerc was soaring, dominating the third round in Australia with a Grand Chelem. A flawless weekend of pole position, fastest lap, and leading every lap of the race. Leclerc's early lead in the championship had many thinking Ferrari was back to its glory days, and the Monegasque might finally end the team's 15-year title drought. But amidst the early season struggles, Red Bull's potential was undeniable. In Saudi Arabia, Verstappen secured a thrilling victory, battling wheel-to-wheel with Leclerc.
And is the patience going to pay off here? Because Verstappen has got DRS down the main straight. Charles Leclerc can't cover him off. Verstappen takes the lead at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
This win was a glimpse into what Verstappen could achieve once their reliability issues were resolved. The turning point came at Imola. Verstappen dominated the rain-affected weekend, taking pole, winning the sprint race, and securing a commanding victory on race day. A perfect Grand Slam weekend.
Max Verstappen comes to the line, wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix by some distance, and it's a distance from his teammate Sergio Perez.
This showed that Verstappen was back in the hunt for the title. From then on, Verstappen was unstoppable. He claimed victory in Miami, fending off a late race charge from Leclerc. In Spain, despite an early spin, Verstappen took advantage of Leclerc's engine failure and strategic team orders to snatch the win. This pivotal moment saw Verstappen take the championship lead for the first time that season. Verstappen's march continued through Monaco, Canada and Azerbaijan, where he capitalised on Ferrari's misfortunes. At Baku, Leclerc's engine failure handed Verstappen another crucial victory. Canada further showcased Verstappen's mastery as he held off Carlos Sainz in a nail-biting finish to extend his lead. Now, despite a couple of non-winning weekends in Great Britain and Austria, where a stray piece of debris and tyre degradation hampered his races, Verstappen's grip on the championship tightened. He bounced back with a vengeance in France, Belgium, the Netherlands and Italy, extending his lead with a series of dominant performances. Now, one of the season's highlights was Hungary, where Verstappen started from a humble 10th on the grid. With strategic brilliance and flawless driving, he navigated through the pack to claim a stunning victory despite a mid-race spin. It was a testament to his tenacity and the sharp tactical understanding of his team, especially strategist Hannah Schmitz. By the time the F1 circus arrived in Monza, Verstappen was in a league of his own, even starting from the 7th position due to a penalty. He stormed through the field to take Red Bull's first win at the Italian circuit since 2013.
It's a 5th consecutive win for Max Verstappen. He wins the Italian Grand Prix. He will stand on the podium at Monza.
Yeah, we nailed that. Good job, guys. We had a great race car.
With a massive 116-point lead, the title seemed all but secured. Though a rare blip in Singapore saw him struggle, finishing 7th after a challenging weekend, Verstappen's response in Japan was emphatic.
Verstappen is ahead of Charles Leclerc. Leclerc trying to fight this one, but as they now head towards the S's, it's Verstappen who's leading.
He clinched his second world championship with a dominant performance in the wet.
Max, Charlie got a 5-second penalty there. World champion. Well,
what can I say? Incredible.
A second world title for Max Verstappen. He is champion of the world in 2022.
the records began to tumble. Verstappen surpassed the record for most wins in a season with his 14th victory in Mexico and the most points scored in a season, setting a new benchmark for future champions to aspire to.
Two-time world champion.
Even a mixed weekend in Brazil couldn't tarnish his stellar season. Despite a penalty and a controversial clash with his teammates, Verstappen's 6th place finish was a minor hiccup on an otherwise smooth road. The finale in Abu Dhabi was a fitting end to his incredible year. With a commanding pole position and lights to flag victory, Verstappen sealed his 15th win of the season, setting unprecedented records with 15 wins, 17 podiums, and a staggering 454 points. This was an incredible display of dominance from Max Verstappen. And Verstappen's dominance continued in 2023. In the first game of the season, Verstappen stormed to victory, crossing the finish line a staggering 11.9 seconds ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez and nearly 40 seconds in front of the resurgent Fernando Alonso. Miami saw Verstappen starting from an unfamiliar 9th on the grid, but any doubts about his ability to claw back were swiftly dismissed as he tore through the field, reaching 2nd place by lap 15. On hard tyres, Verstappen bided his time, waiting for Perez's inevitable pit stop. When Perez did pit, Verstappen unleashed a series of blistering laps, even setting the fastest lap on his 35-lap-old tyres. After his own pit stop, he rejoined the race just 1.6 seconds behind Perez and overtook his teammate within a single lap in a move as predictable as it was unstoppable.
The ball's wheel to wheel and round the outside. Will it be the lead? It's close between the two of them. The crowd are roaring and Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix, having started 9th on the grid. He's passed his teammate. He's passed all of them.
Now, Monaco is a race where qualifying is often the decider. As the clock ticked down in the final session, Fernando Alonso was poised for pole. Verstappen, trailing through the first 2 sectors, needed a miracle in the last, and in true Verstappen style, he found that miracle, threading his Red Bull through the narrow streets with surgical precision to snatch the pole from Alonso's grasp.
Well done, mate. Your first ever pole. That was mighty.
On race day, Verstappen's skill was tested again, as rain turned the streets of Monte Carlo into a treacherous obstacle course, but he kept his cool, leading from start to finish to claim his 2nd Monaco win.
Something special in the wet, in the dry. Max Verstappen wins the Monaco Grand Prix for surely one of his most satisfying victories in Formula One.
In Montreal, Verstappen continued his relentless march by notching his 6th victory from 8 races. Despite an early collision with a bird, he was unstoppable, cruising to a win that tied him with Ayrton Senna's record of 41 career victories. Spa-Francorchamps, with its daunting curves and unpredictable weather, provided another stage for Verstappen's brilliance. Despite starting 6th due to an engine penalty, he effortlessly took the lead by lap 17 and never looked back.
We ride through Radion Corner. We're getting closer to the back of his teammate with every metre that we run. Now we're going to get DRS and there will be nothing that Perez can do. Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Easy as you like.
Finishing a commanding 22.3 seconds ahead of Perez. Hamilton, who finished 4th and nearly 50 seconds adrift, quipped that Verstappen's drive was so dominant, it was like he was having a smoke in a pancake. Back home at Zandvoort, Verstappen faced chaos with 2 race-induced interruptions, which could have derailed anyone else's race. Yet in front of 105,000 adoring fans, he navigated the challenges with unparalleled speed and control, lapping faster than anyone on the track. His victory equaled Sebastian Vettel's record of 9 consecutive wins, prompting Red Bull team principal Christian Horner to call him untouchable. Now Monza, the temple of speed, saw Verstappen chasing history. For 14 laps, he trailed Ferrari's Carlos Sainz.
Well, he's going to have DRS. He'll start to gain massively in this phase. Is he brave enough to have a go?
He's going to be sent the long way round by Carlos Sainz, who is desperate to hang on to the lead of the Grand Prix, and that is an elbow thrown by the Ferrari.
But as the laps ticked down, Verstappen pounced, overtaking Sainz at the 2nd chicane.
With better top speed, he's fighting back. It's about a metre ahead as into the next chicane we go. Verstappen's on the inside. Verstappen is ahead.
And powering to his 10th consecutive victory. It was a feat never before seen in F1, surpassing Vettel's record and making Verstappen the first driver to hit double digits in consecutive wins. Although Verstappen's unbeaten run ended in Singapore, he returned with a vengeance in Japan. He dominated every session, claimed pole.
In a league of his own, Verstappen's 9th pole position of the season
and led the race from start to finish. His victory sealed the Constructors' Championship for Red Bull with 6 races to spare, a first in F1 history. It was a performance that left no doubt about who ruled the 2023 season. Verstappen went on to win his 3rd F1 driver's title, securing victory in 19 out of the 22 races and 4 of the 6 sprints he competed in that season. It was a level of dominance the sport had never seen. At just 26 years old, Verstappen had cemented his legacy among Formula One legends like Ayrton Senna, Jack Brabham, Jackie Stewart, Niki Lauda and Nelson Piquet, etching his name into the sport's storied history. Whether he was jumping from P9 to P1 in Miami or making his way from P15 to P2 in Melbourne, his dominance might seem inevitable, and perhaps not everyone loves a runaway leader, but there is an undeniable beauty in his precision and mastery. Every time Verstappen engages his DRS or dives into a corner with relentless precision, it's a spectacle. Yes, we crave competition, the wheel-to-wheel battles that keep us on the edge of our seats, but there's also a deep appreciation for greatness when it's in front of us. Right now, Verstappen is the frontrunner, delivering a display of dominance that's as awe-inspiring as it is formidable. And while it may not last forever, we should savour it. Just ask Toto Wolff, Mercedes team principal, who knows all too well the fleeting nature of supremacy. Mercedes once dominated the field, with Hamilton winning 4 straight titles and 6 out of 7 from 2014 to 2020. Their reign was a golden era that pushed the rest of the grid to innovate and improve. Now we're in the Verstappen era. As the wheels keep turning in Formula One, one thing is clear: the gap between the teams will eventually close. We're already witnessing McLaren, Ferrari and others working relentlessly to challenge Red Bull's supremacy. Innovation and development are their tools, and one day they will catch up. Max Verstappen has raised the bar so high that the rest of the grid has no choice but to step up their game. But until that day comes, when the competition tightens and the playing field levels out, we should savour Verstappen's current run of brilliance. He's a driver at the pinnacle of his career, delivering extraordinary performances week after week. Max Verstappen's dominance is something to admire and appreciate while it lasts, because as history has shown, no reign in Formula One lasts forever. Max Verstappen is undeniably a generational talent, but there are scary truths about Max Verstappen that no one is noticing. What are these truths? Well, find out in this video.